J. Cole has had a really rough year. He ultimately took the biggest L from this Kendrick and Drake beef. He was clowned on for months. Even as recently as last night, he released a track talking about this whole back and forth, saying that he still believed that he is one of the best and that he'd rather not lose a friend over some insignificant beef. However, he apologized to the man that dissed him. He appeared on the album of the guy who was dissing his friend and also retracted the diss track that he made. But then there was that grippy verse, which was truly the nail in the coffin. But let's go back to a time when J. Cole wasn't so ass. 2016, For Your Eyez Only. Today we'll be reviewing this album track by track.
Bells getting loud, ain't nowhere to hide, got nowhere to go. Put away my pride, tired of feeling low. Even when I'm high, ain't no way to live.
Cole opens up the album on a really emotional note. He is bawling out of frustration. He's very much passionate, almost sort of desperate. You can hear in his voice a plead for an explanation, a reason, an ounce of hope, some way to cope with this pain. Lyrically, if you can tell by the mentions of bells ringing and rain falling, it deals with death, and more specifically that of his close friend James, and how it affects him. At just 2 minutes long, you wouldn't expect it to resonate with you as much as it does, but his performance here really nails it home.
I can tell you things that you probably shouldn't know. Have you ever heard the screams when the body hit the floor? Flashbacks to the pain.
As much as I don't like rappers glorifying street life, it is important to understand the nature in which art was created. Now, Cole doesn't make it seem cool, but he helps you rationalize the understanding and the mindset of someone who was raised in this environment, which is entirely different to what most rappers do. He also makes mention of legacy and being great. Regardless of physical death, you will always be immortalized by the persons you have impacted. As much as I don't like the production style, it fits the message. It feels like you're a part of his journey, like you're still on the grind and you're still on the come up.
I finally recognize the feelings that's inside for you. Although I know your man and trust me, he would die for you.
You've probably heard this beat before from Bryson Tiller, but that shit was stolen because this song was produced first. The song itself is just J. Cole trying to spit game to a girl who already has a man. And if you think being in a relationship is going to stop someone from cheating, have you ever lived? In Gen Z terms, J. Cole tries to riz a baddie with a gat. When I do eventually end my own life, it will be because I chose to record and post a video with that sentence. Other than that, the beat is really the best part of the song.
This mentality.
You would say J. Cole's singing is bad until you sing and you realize you sound just as bad as him. Also, if you wanted to cry and witnessed a really pure example of childhood innocence, J. Cole has that here too, which breaks my heart, man. I also really like the ambient production on this track. For how detrimental it is, it sure is heavenly.
11s, you read me like a book, like I'm the Bible, you the Reverend. I
listened to the song and I remember Foldin Clothes is on this album, which... Anyway, he is in his Chance the Rapper bag. He is in love, so deeply in love. The production is really soft and dreamy. He's on cloud 9 and really in awe of this person. It sounds very paternal, but I'm not sure if J. Cole has a daughter, so... Anyway, it is heartfelt and delivered really well.
Most niggas don't believe in God, and so they terrified. It's either that or they be fearing they gon' go to hell, asking the Father for forgiveness.
Change is a personal evaluation, a reflection of growth and transformation, not only of his craft, but him as a person. He goes from being a youth who's always on the jump, ready to get his hands dirty, to a young adult who understands the value of life and understands how violence impacts his environment, especially being a person who lost a friend to that type of life.
I don't want no picture with the president. I just want to talk to the man. Speak for the boys in a bando. And my nigga never walking again.
Fun fact, the beat for this song is Forbidden Fruit from Born Sinner backwards. Anyway, racism, America, our favorite couple, is back. And now they are stereotyping and profiling. It's almost funny. It's a classic J. Cole song in my opinion. Many of his fans appreciate it and it's a huge highlight for me. The message for me though is, in America, despite your fame, your success, your accomplishment, you will always be judged firstly by the color of your skin and the texture of your hair. J. Cole is a great musician, but he will always be viewed as a great black musician.
Feel good. Baby, I wanna do the right thing. Feel so much better in a
Foldin Clothes is uniquely bad. The message is great. I love the intent. A man so infatuated with his woman that he wants to fold clothes. He wants to do the mundane things in life just to make it easier for her once he's doing it with her. I just don't want to hear that shit. You've ever been friends with someone who's like really happy in their relationship? They're terrible people. They suck to be around. They are like the worst of the worst. Also, did you know that Steve Lacy did the guitar for this track? You don't care? You just want to get back to folding laundry? Cool.
Need to purchase shit from corporations that make a killing because they feed on the wallets of the poor who be knocked.
So remember when I said paternally on part 1? I was correct. I just didn't know the gender. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one. It's just as good. It resonates with most people, even if you don't have a kid, but especially if you do.
For your eyes only. For your eyes.
Alright, last track, title track, and it is a well-crafted story that ends with him directly addressing his kid. He goes through the disadvantages that he had to face because of his ethnicity, to the things that he had to do to survive the street life, and ends it with a really well-written love message. Alright, let's talk about the album. It is a decent 6. No, I like this album a lot. I don't have that much bad things to say about it. I just don't think it's one of his best works. As a rapper, J. Cole doesn't disappoint. Maybe a couple cringe bars here and there, but nothing to completely turn you off. I will say he needs to improve his hook game even in 2024. Standout tracks for me would have to be Neighbors, Ville Mentality, and as a guilty pleasure, Foldin Clothes. But yeah, those are my thoughts. You can let me know yours, whether you agree, disagree. Please form your own opinion. Links to the album will be in the description. Go take a listen, and thank you for watching.